Today we're making something that normally you get in a restaurant or you're going to get in a grocery store that comes in a bag, and you think to yourself, man, it's probably really difficult to make this, but the truth is it's not, and it's really easy to do. We're making Greek Pita Bread, the most delicious, the fluffiest, the tastiest thing that's going to come out of your kitchen. Can't wait to make it with you guys. Let's get started.
Alright, so the most important thing with any recipe is the ingredients, and with Greek Pita Bread, the most important ingredient is, of course, Greek extra virgin olive oil. This is going to make everything taste amazing and really bring out the flavor profile. So our first step is to take water at room temperature pretty much, 480 milliliters or 2 cups, and add 9 grams or 2 teaspoons of instant yeast and 8 grams or 2 teaspoons of sugar into the mixture and let them get to know each other. Give it a little whisk and we can just let it sit for about 8 to 10 minutes until it's fully ready and bloomed for our mixture. Alright, so while the yeast is doing its thing, you take 640 grams or 5 cups of all-purpose flour and then 11 grams or 2 teaspoons of salt and mix them together until everybody can get to know each other. I tried to sing. It is what it is. Whisk it up and put it into a mixing bowl and get ready for our main ingredient, obviously, which is the extra virgin Greek olive oil. Now, the brand that I chose to use is called Midas Extra Virgin Greek Olive Oil, and it's really the best olive oil that I've had. I've tried a lot, and believe me, it's the one. You can get this at any Whole Foods on the northern east side of the east coast of the United States, or you can order it online and have it delivered right to your house so you can enjoy it with your family and friends. Alright, so the next step, we take all of our bloomed yeast and sugar and water mixture and put that into the mixing bowl and get ready to mix it up. Now, I chose to mix everything up with a spatula just because it's a lot cleaner than using it by hand. I'm sure that I've probably upset a couple of Greek grandmothers, but yeah, they'll get over it. Either way, get into a shaggy dough, and then we're going to get that ready for our mixer. Now that we're at our mixer, we're going to get the dough hook, and we're going to attempt to put it onto the mixer. It's supposed to go on. I'm really trying here, guys. All right, there we go. I've got it. All right, let's turn this on and, get moving and put it on low speed, and it's not mixing. I thought I knew what I was doing, and it is what it is. By the way, there's a lever. Pull the lever up, and you're going to turn the mixer on to low to medium speed until it becomes nice and elastic, just like this. Again, it's going to take about 8 to 10 minutes of mixing to get to look exactly like you see here. Once it becomes nice and elastic, you're going to turn out the dough, which means taking it out of the mixing bowl, onto a floured work surface, and you're going to knead the dough for another few minutes until it becomes a nice and tight ball, just like this. Take that ball, move it over to the side, and we're going to get our bowl where it's going to actually rest for a couple of hours when we let it proof. Put again our Midas extra virgin Greek olive oil, or any other olive oil that you have, and rub it along the sides so that way when we put the dough in, during the rise, it's not going to stick to the sides. Give it a little swirl so you can take it dancing, and then add a little bit more extra virgin Greek olive oil on the top. Rub it on. This is going to improve the elasticity of the dough as it rises for when we're ready to slice it up so we can make pita balls. Now, once we're done with everything, we're going to put a little bit of plastic wrap on the top, attach it to the top of the bowl, and we're going to let the dough rest for between an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on your environment. Now, you want it to be in a warm space, and what I like to do is I like to turn the light on my oven on and let the dough rest inside the oven with the light on. Be sure to not turn the oven on so that way you don't actually cook what's in there. Now, once it's done, the dough should have risen and look just like this. You're going to take that dough, again, turn it out onto your work surface, and what you're going to do is you're going to start forming it into a log shape. Anyway, it's going to look like this, and you're going to slice it up into 14 different pieces that are going to weigh about 80 grams in weight. those pieces we're going to turn into our dough balls. Now this part's really actually pretty easy, and it's easier than it looks. You're going to take your thumb and your index finger, kind of putting a little pressure, and with your right hand turn the dough ball into itself on the bottom, and then at the end of it you're just going to give it a little bit of a pinch just to seal everything up. Again, everyone has their own method, but I've found that folding it into itself just like this allows a little bit of air to incorporate there. Once you pinch it off, it seals it in, and those air bubbles are going to turn into beautiful little crispy pieces in the pita bread once we start to put it in the frying pan. And now we roll. You're going to take a dough ball, put it down on a floured work surface, and pat it down on both sides so it gets kind of flat. From there, you take your floured rolling pin and roll it out. And about halfway through, you're going to want to turn it around so that way we can promote making a circular shape. Do this a bunch of times until you get to the desired consistency or height or thickness, whatever you want to call it. But ideally, you want it to be around 1/8 of an inch in size. Now you're going to take that same dough that you rolled out and you're going to put it into an oiled cast iron skillet that's on medium to low heat. You want it to be a little bit hot, but again, keep the heat a little bit low. Add it on there and you're going to let the pita bread sort of cook on the bottom, and what you're going to see is that there's these little air pockets or air bubbles that are forming on the top. Everything's okay. That's exactly what you want. You're going to want to let it get to, a little bit towards a crispy side, and once it's ready, you're going to give it a little bit of a flip. Once flipped, move it around with the spatula just so you can get a little bit of the oil from the sides of the pan to incorporate it into a bread, and you're going to cook it till it's nice and golden brown. Now, everyone has their own preference on whether they like it crispier, fluffier, whatever you have, but no matter what you do, just don't burn it. It's going to come out great, and you're going to see there's a little bit of browning on the top with the nice air pockets and the air bubbles, and really just a beautiful pita bread. So now that we've done all this, you ask yourself, what's the best thing about Greek Pita Bread? It's sharing it, of course. Grab a slice, put it in a dip, put it in a sandwich, do whatever you want with it, but just make sure that you're sharing it with your family and your friends. If you like what you saw in my video and are ready to start making your own restaurant-worthy food from your home, be sure to subscribe to my channel to get alerts when I release new videos each week. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends or drop a line in the comments. See everybody next week. Thanks.